And welcome to the Writer's Life, the place where you get the sights, sounds, smells, tastes of my particular writer's life. Where you get the truth about the writer's life. Subscribe if you haven't already. Punch the like button and snap the bell for notifications so that you don't miss out on one single exciting video. Oh my God. Also, don't forget to visit the store at www.vinzandri.com, www.vinzandri.com, vinzandri.com, to pick up some great escapist reads. It's a cool new website. Work on it just a little bit every day. Just improve it, and improve it. So just a business note first. It's official. Yesterday, Frank Safiro, a.k.a. Frank Scalise, a.k.a. Frank Safiro. I'm not sure which is his real name, but he's a great writer, former cop. He interviewed me for the, like I said yesterday, for the Grifters series, of which he asked me to be a part. I was proud to be a part of, and I wrote a novella called Concrete and Cocaine. So we spoke about that, and you'll see that video in a couple of months. But anyway, we were talking. I was interested in like how he was using Google instead of like Zoom. He's using Google, and it records the conversation. So I was like, I could probably use that and therefore have guests. So it's official. I'm going to start having guests this fall. Not every time. I'm still going to do my solo rants, which I think are kind of relatively popular. But I'm going to have guests sometimes too. Now, don't get the wrong idea. This is not going to be like the typical, like, okay, what's your book? What's it about? What inspired you to write it? How long did it take you? Where did you get your characters from? How'd you come up with the plot? Just that's for other podcasts or YouTube channels or whatever. We're gonna talk about everything from the state of crime in this country to Ukraine to whatever comes into our heads, aliens. We'll also talk a little bit about books we're working on or whatever, but kind of think like maybe like the Dave Smith podcast meets Joe Rogan podcast meets Lex Friedman podcast, just whatever's interesting to talk about at the time. Only we're not going to go 3 hours, it'll probably be like 40 minutes at most, something like that. I don't know until I do it. And I'm not just going to have writers on. I'm going to have other people too, who are other interesting people. I might even have an accountant on. I might. You never know. Could be a good show. All right. Back to the topic at hand. Pulp Fiction era is here again. And it has been for about 15 years. And an era usually lasts about a generation or two. So we're just we're in the early stage. We're in the first quarter still. And it's almost like it's 1920s and 30s again, where the more writing you do, the more rewarded you are financially for it. And we've been discussing this with on the Substack, Pulp, Pipe, and Poetry. Did I get that right? The 3 Ps. Pulp, Pipe, and Poetry. That the writer Frank Theodat. Frank, excuse me if I'm always pronouncing your name wrong. And correct me if I am. I think he runs it. He and a couple other dudes. And they actually asked me to. I'm gonna be doing a guest interview there very quickly, probably this month, to talk about Pulp Fiction in the state we're at right now, which is a very good state. And in fact, just being a freelance writer alone, these days is more lucrative than it ever has been. A report came out today that, like in 2010, the average hourly wage, or 2015 maybe, or 10 years ago, let's just call it 10 years ago. What the fuck? 10 years ago, the average hourly wage for a freelance writer was about $21 an hour. And these days, even with AI, and I think AI right now in its current state is actually helping us. So now our our hourly average salary is $36 an hour, which is a really huge increase. It's like by a third. And I can see why. I'm devoting 90% of my time to fiction, and because I'm building up a list. So I'm not quite making $36 an hour right now. Probably, but I will be soon enough. But if I wanted to, I could just I could split it up 50-50 and take on more nonfiction work and make more money that way. But I'm thinking long term. I'm not looking, I've made so many financial mistakes in my life, so many fuck ups, and almost all of them had to do with relationships. Like Vince gets money, Vince gets girl. Vince loses money, Vince loses girl. That's the formula. Mm-hmm. So now I ain't got a girl, and and I'm going to keep I'm going to keep my money. No offense to anyone who's hard of hearing. Oh boy, I'm going to be in trouble for that one. Just a joke. Add some levity to the day. Anyway, so what was I talking about? Pulp Fiction. Yes. So I'm writing my ass off and having a fucking blast doing it. Like this Max Gator story that I just came up with 3 weeks ago or whatever it was. Just about done. I'm heading into the last 2 chapters or so. Turned out to be I thought it was going to be sort of a novella, but it turned out to be a short novel. It's the one that's like Jaws meets Snakes on a Plane. Anyway, it turned out all right. It's just so much fun to write it. Who doesn't want to write like a monster story? Basically, is what it is. I've just been having a blast with it. So that'll be out. Well, I'm putting it on Vela first, so I got to wait 30 days. So figure if I'm done this week, it'll be out second week of September in book form. Because you got to wait 30 days. They make you wait 30 days, whatever. But you can catch it on Kindle Vela now if you want to see the uncut version, which is just, it's as close to 100% as it's going to get. Although there's a couple things I want to add to it that I've been thinking about. One character I want to flesh out a little bit more, but no big deal. But this is a great time to be a writer, let me tell you. Anybody who's not willing to put in the effort, I get it. You just don't have it in you. But if you are as obsessed as this guy is, and as Frank is, and as Harvey Stambro is, and Dean Wesley Smith, and Chris and Catherine Rush, and that whole gang, J.R. Rain, that whole crew, Blake Russell, or is it Russell Blake? Forgive me, but if you're as obsessed as we all are with putting words out, we don't really bother with conferences or anything that'll take us away from our writing. We just keep putting out the books, and that's what's important to us. We're not looking for fame. We're looking to make really good money and to have a lot of fun while we're doing it, and we could do it from anywhere in the world. That's what it's all about, freedom. All right, so that's all I got to say today about that topic. My whale. I've had this guy a long time. Got him in Provincetown. I've told you that before. When Norman Mailer was still alive and living there. But I never met him. Anyway. All right. I will talk to you guys, God willing, tomorrow when it's Thursday already. Holy crap. Ciao, ciao.